Hey guys, welcome back to RevHp. This is going to be a video showing you how to do the service of a Ninja 650 2012 model. This is just going to be part 1 where I'm going to do the oil change, and in part 2, which is going to be a separate video, I'm going to show you how to do a coolant change as well, a full flush. But for now, let's get on with this video. So these are going to be the tools and your requirements for the oil change. We're going to start with a 17mm socket or Tommy, torque wrench to tighten up the drain plug, screwdriver, some general tools right there like a 10mm socket, and a socket for your filter. I'm not sure if this is going to work, so I got a filter strap as well, and 3 liters of oil. Well, the bike takes around 2.4 liters when it's completely dry. A funnel and a flush as well. Yeah, that's it for the tools. Let's start with the oil change. So yeah guys, start by adding the flush to the engine oil. It's not going to be a lot, but yeah, add the entire bottle to it. And once it's all gone, just keep this aside and let the engine run for about 5 minutes so that the fluid can mix well with the old oil. Yeah, I'm gonna let it run and I'm gonna get back to you after the bike's warmed up. So yeah guys, after you've added the flush, I would say it's better to remove the fairings first before we start the engine. These bolts were already broken loose, by the way, just so that it wouldn't be a trouble before, like while doing the video. But yeah, it's again a 17mm socket for this particular one. This are RNG crash guards. So yeah, just take it off and keep it aside. Do it for the other side as well. Yeah. At this point, let's start removing the fairing bolts, which are usually they are 4mm Allen bits. So yeah, start by removing this one. There's one right here. There's a one here. So and one down here. By the way, we have to remove this side of the fairing because of the oil filter to give us access to it. At this point, grab your flathead and just pry it in between like so, and just get this rivet off. Should be one underneath as well, a similar type. Do the same thing. There you go. There are around 3. Not sure if you can. The camera would capture this, but yeah, same thing, same like this other 2 which are right here. These plastic rivets which are underneath. Yeah, there you go. This point, just go ahead and loosen this side light indicator wire, this connector I mean. There you go, one side of the fairing is off. Easy as that. Keep it in a safe place. That's the first side done. Well, that's your oil filter right over there. Let's come back to that in a bit. Let's move on to the other side. Same thing. I'm not gonna show you this part, I'm just gonna take it off. So yeah guys, after I remove the fairing, at this point I would suggest you to start the engine, because we have put the flush in the engine oil and they recommend you run it for about 5 minutes. It's always better to remove the fairings first, because the engine gets really hot and there are chances of getting burnt, your hands burnt I mean. So yeah, first start the engine, let it run for 5 minutes and then let it cool down for a bit, because these bolts do get brittle when they are hot, so we wouldn't want anyone shearing their bolts off. So yeah, I'll start the bike and I'll get back to you once we have run it for 5 minutes, and yeah, after we turn it off. So yeah guys, at this point our bike has cooled down a bit, and let's start by removing the drain plug. You're going to require this 17mm socket. This bolt right here is the drain plug or the drain bolt of this bike. So yeah, just go ahead and rotate it counterclockwise. There you go. Break it free and be careful, the oil might come gushing out. So yeah, you gotta be ready with a oil pan, and yeah, let it drain. Gotta let it sit for a few minutes, because they're gonna drain out completely. Yeah, at this point you can just go ahead and clean this drain plug. I would recommend changing this washer, but unfortunately I forgot to buy one. This crush washer over here, it is really important. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the description though of the video, telling you what the requirements are exactly. Even if I missed a few tools maybe here and there, I'm gonna tell you about it in the description, so please do check it out. And I'm also gonna add the timestamps. Just wait for it to drain out. After this drains out, I'm gonna show you on the other side about how we gotta remove the oil filter. So yeah, see you there. I would suggest taking some aluminum foil, just wrapping your headers with it, so that the oil doesn't fall onto the pipes, which would cause a bit of smoke. Yeah, that should be enough, just like that. And be careful, make sure that your bike is cold at this point. Yeah, so after you have wrapped the headers with aluminum foil, just get your strap or a filter and your socket, whatever you may have, just get it and tighten it as much as possible, and then rotate it counterclockwise. It shouldn't be over tightened the way mine is, but yeah, it's usually tightened with just your fingers. Oh, so I don't know why this has been tightened so much, but yeah, don't worry guys, you should be able to get it off. Just loosen the rest with your fingers, and yeah, don't forget to keep an oil pan underneath. So yeah guys, after you get the oil filter off, make sure you wipe this part down with a rag. Make sure it's clean as well, because yeah, you can't let any debris get into the engine. That's the new one. I got it from Engine Kawasaki here in Goa. It costs around 1200 rupees. I think it's the same one that goes on for the 300 as well. Most bikes have this one, Kawasaki bikes I mean. And as you can see, the O-ring is already lubed up as well, and it's not required for you to actually fill oil in this, because you're gonna put it sideways, oil is gonna go everywhere. This is a small engine, it's not really required. The main thing would be lubing up the oil or the O-ring, but it already has some lube on it. Tighten it the same way you removed the old one out. Just go ahead, tighten it like so. It doesn't have to be like extremely tight, so please do not over tighten this. It has a O-ring, it's not gonna leak. So get yourself a rag and really tighten it with your hands. So guys, after I've installed the oil filter, you can go ahead and tighten the drain plug. It takes a 17mm socket, and get your torque wrench out at this point. You're going to set it to around 22 foot-pounds. Sorry, 22 foot-pounds right over here. Yeah, exactly 22. Then tighten the lock nut, and on the other side it would be around 30 Newton meters. So go ahead and find your drain plug. There you go. So yeah guys, after you have torqued the drain plug bolt to around 22 foot-pounds or 30 Newton meters, it's time for the final step, which would be filling the oil. So yeah, just go ahead and remove the filler cap, keep it aside. Remember, it takes around 2.3 liters, but you'll come to know through the glass over here, so don't worry. Take your funnel, keep it aside. Clean this a bit, and finally, after you do one final check of everything, see that everything's tightened, you may finally start up the bike and let it run for a few minutes so the oil can circulate all around. At that point, after it's done warming up, you may check the level of the oil, and if it wouldn't be too low at this point, it would be actually a bit closer to the higher point on the reading glass. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the oil change and oil filter change. Yeah guys, that's it for part 1. And while we already have the fairings opened, we are also gonna do the coolant change, but please stay tuned for that in part 2 of this video. Yeah guys, that's it, and thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. That's it. RevHp signing out.